All right, good morning, everybody. Let's see, do we have an echo again? All right, good morning, everybody. Do we have an echo again? We're going to be taking a look here. We have NFP today. Got some major news out here coming up at 8:30 today. Non-farm payroll, unemployment rates. So we should have some volume here dumping into the market. It's going to be a good day though, as long as we stay disciplined and we stick to the plan. Everything will go right. All right. So if you guys look, we took a trade earlier here today before NFP. Seen it coming out. This was the trade. We called it in the signals group. It was a gold sell stop 1911, and we entered the trade. Got the wick fill, moved stops to break even, and then break even got tapped here. So another good trade for about 20 pips. And yeah, so let's take a look here at the charts, guys. Let's get all this stuff off of here. John, did you see that happen in the morning?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, that was a nice play.
Yep.
Good morning, Tassie. First time here. Well, we're happy to have you here. Hopefully you can learn a lot and get some value over the course of the next couple months. Stay steady with us. We're just getting started on YouTube as well, so we're happy to have you. Green, what up? Good morning, Scott. Good morning, King Chippy. George, good morning, brother. Anthony, what's going on? Joe, what up, y'all? What up? All right, let's do a quick breakdown here and get into these charts. What time is it? 7:15. We should be good. At this point, we'll probably be waiting for the news to come out, but let's take a look here at the weekly on gold. So remember, as we were saying, let me just pull up Zoom notifications. All right, so remember, as we were saying on Monday, right? So we had gold weekly candle close above this range, but if you notice some things here on gold, right, you had this huge push up, and you see a lot of very strong bullish candles here. Even so, these candles had no bottom wicks. They were just absolute rocket ships blasting off into space as gold's trying to retest these highs up here at 2000. So you see a massive bullish run. Obviously it's, you know, the economy is at its low right now, so gold is really pushing up. But one thing that we noticed was on this last candle, if there's one thing you notice here, right, outside of the no bottom wick, we also have no top wick. And when a candle closes with no top wick, that indicates that the next candles don't have any range to continue moving forward. Now, although we did close above this area, we could absolutely retest these highs. But one thing you can notice here is that the bullish momentum is really starting to slow down, right? You had a nice fat candle, really nice healthy candle, really nice candle, pushed up, closed with no top wick. And then the last 3 weeks have really just been, you know, consolidation. They've been weak bullish candles for the most part, and now it looks like this weekly candle, you know, could potentially, if it does, could end up closing like this, back in to this range below these levels here, right? So then you have a daily push up, a nice somewhat of a fake out going on right here, and then gold heading back down into these ranges. So that's what the weekly time frame is telling us. If you pay attention to the candles will really tell you all you need to know. So coming down here on the daily time frame, right, so we got to take a look. So although we are coming up into this rejection zone, it doesn't necessarily mean that price will push down. We have broken the weekly low. Chat in the Discord, yeah, you could send a chat in the Discord and we'll go over it on stream, definitely. So yesterday, you obviously had a really nice push down back into. So let's just take a look at this daily time frame and tell a story, right? So you had a support. Let's use this one, right? You had a support right here, and you had a resistance right here. This was the range that you were really in. So you were in this range from, what is it? I can't see because the bar is here, but you were in this range right here, right? Kind of just trading, consolidating. And then what happened was gold ended up closing below. So you had this candle right here. You had massive candles, massive candle, a nice pullback, created support, a huge bullish candle, and then you had a bit of consolidation. And then what happened was, if you notice, every single time price tried to break below this support right here, what happened? You have a rejection, 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 and then finally you had a closure below. So a closure below is going to indicate that there is room now and volume for price to continue driving now back down into this range, right? You had clean candles to the left hand side, but again, we were still very bullish here on gold. So what you've seen here was price close below, but it really never closed below this area. And sometimes you have to pay attention to what's going on to the left hand side, right? So we never closed below, but let's say we're using this support because it is a valid support right here. We're using this support to determine where we can go next. Then what happened is you had news come out, right? So price pushed all the way down. But what do you notice? So this is one of the biggest things when it comes to trading. I truly believe that you have to wait for candles to close. When you wait for a candle to close, that's when you know and you have better direction on where price is going to be heading, right? So what happened here? This candle closed bullish, but if you notice, it closed back above this support right here. So that tells me that we had your gold daily fake out, right? You had a huge wick down, collected all that liquidity, ended up coming back, flipping bullish and closing back into this range right here. So that's the story that you're looking at here on gold right now. And now that the candle closed back in the range, we push back up, right? The following day, anytime a candle closes back in the range, chances are it's going to come retest this high again, and that's what you've seen with this bullish candle. And then yesterday we obviously, you know, had a really nice move down. I personally didn't expect that much of the move to happen, but we started breaking daily lows, man, and now what's happened is we have officially closed below these areas here, right? So we have closed below this area. I do expect a little bit of a bigger top wick, so we can kind of find a top wick up in this zone here. But that is the story that gold's telling you. The one thing I'm looking at is this very small bottom wick. So it's fine that it has a small bottom wick because we've already broken that. So if we re-break this low right here, chances are we can come down and really start to, you know, fill these areas down here. So, and what is that? That's going to be, you know, 60, 70, 80 pip range right there. So that's a really nice trade range that we can take advantage of. But now that we know the story on the weekly and we know the story on the daily, now we need to come on down to these lower time frames and find out how we can start to take positions, right? How can we get into this market safely without, you know, having to worry about too much here. So if you look at the 4 hour, we've created a very simple support, right? And then we've also created a resistance. So right now we are literally just mucking around in this range right here. So this range right here is a 56 pip range, right? So this is a 56 pip range that is actually starting to consolidate pre-NFP. So we have to wait and see what's going to happen here in this range. So let's scale down to the lower time frames. Let's go down to the 1 hour here. So if you notice, you have this 1 hour, erase this. So what's this 1 hour time frame telling us here, right? So we have this range that we're in. So you clearly have a support right here, and you have your resistance right here, right? So this is the range that we're looking at here on gold. This is going to be, I believe this is still going to be that 50, yeah, so it's going to be that 56 pip range on the 1 hour time frame. So let's take a look at the 30, see how we can, all right. So being that our daily candle is bearish, right? We closed bearish. That's our bias for today. So we're expecting a top wick to be formed, and then a re-break of these lows to come on down, fill this wick, and then, you know, potentially come on down into this, back into this 1900 level. So how do we get that, right? So we got to be looking at these lower time frames. If we are on the 30-minute time frame, we have this support. So this is the trade that we took right here. So we took this trade pre-NY. So this candle closed right here below, and we had the wick fill that was there. So this candle right here closed below, and then once this candle flipped, we took this for the wick fill. We closed everything right about there, and then price pulled back and tapped BE, but we were already about 80% of that position out. So BE tapped, but this is what we got out of that trade, and then it just came back up, hit our break even, and just started flipping bullish. So we were in that, but now we're back in the range, and now we just have to wait, right? We just got to wait patiently here for price to break out, right? And that's all we're gonna do. We do have NFP coming up, so we're gonna be probably sitting tight waiting for that in about, I think NFP news comes out at 8:30. 8:30.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, so news coming out at 8:30. So we'll have that. We'll probably be just messing around in this range here, but I'm gonna be probably. So when it comes to buys, sells look good on the 1 hour time frame below this area. So we're gonna be looking for sells below here, and then if that happens, you have clean traffic right into about, you know, these levels around here, and then you have even more clean traffic down to these levels here. So there's plenty of ranges here today. Don't jump. NFP could probably push price up. So if price does push up here, I'm not going to take buys. I'm going to wait for range 2 buys, which are going to be above here. So if we can get some buys up there and a closure, that'll indicate we have broken the daily high, and now we're pushing up. So let's just take a look where this daily high is. Yeah, I'll be waiting for buys above this level up here. Range 2 buys, and then sells are going to be below this level here. And then you have more sells in these ranges here. So not going to really mess around in this range today. It is NFP, and not going to mess around in here. If anything, we're going to start taking trades. This is going to be a clean trade zone. This is going to be a clean trade zone, and then, you know, up in these areas will be clean. So I'm going to stay out of this area here today. The reason I'm not taking buys above this level here is because we're bearish on the daily time frame. So what'll happen a lot of times is you'll tend to see a fake out happen up in these areas, because people will have their resistance above here, right? They'll have their resistance like this, and you'll see price start to push up, you know, like this, boom, and then maybe a candle closes like that, and then, you know, people will be taking their buys, let's say on the break here, but what you'll notice is you'll get this fake out occur. So you'll get a fake out back into the range, or so that's option 1. Or you can wait for, let's say, a candle to officially close below, right? Close below this area, and then you can catch your sells coming down, you know, into these ranges here. So option 1 is to see this fake out happen, and once this candle closes below, wait for a top wick, and this could be your trading candle. Or option number 2 is wait for this candle here to close below this range, and then you can trade this candle because you have clean traffic here to the left hand side. So take a picture of that if you want. We could possibly see this come and happen today, but there's no, you know, there's no predicting, there's no guessing. These are just scenarios that can go down and scenarios that we're going to be looking for. So if that happens, we'll go ahead and take our sells back into the range. If not, we'll wait for the closure below. And we have to, I'm going to leave that white line there for you guys so we can really see if that fake out does occur. But other than that, I'll be waiting for buys. The only way I'll take buys above here is if we do get something like this, right? If we get a candle to push up, right? Close above here, and then a bearish candle like this to form. Closes bearish, but it closes bearish above this area. And then what we can do is we can anticipate the 1 hour celery or most likely the 1 hour candle to push down, respect this low, and then once it breaks those highs, we can look for positions at the break of these highs here, right? So that's the only way I'm going to take buys above here, is if we push up and then we close bearish, but close above this area right here, right? Above it, not below it. Below it would lead to the fake out. Above it would lead to the celery play, where we can catch buys coming up top, and you know, you got clean candles to the left hand side as well. So you probably go break even, you know, right around this area here, and yeah, ride the rest of it back up. So a couple different scenarios we could run into today. If not, you know, if you don't want to jump in on this, then you can just very simply, you know, wait for this, wait for a closure above this area right here. All right, so, and then you can take your buys going up.
Yep.
So yeah.
Yeah, we want to be lions in the charts, chat. We want to, when we see our opportunity, we want to execute and attack. But we gotta wait. We gotta be patient.
That's true. That is very true. All right, so let me send the link out here. Send a new Zoom link and send the Zoom in the Discord because I didn't even do that. So yeah, so what's good, chat? Everybody doing good? It's a good Friday. Is everyone ready to just be patient today and be disciplined? Because it's an opportunity for you. It's an opportunity for you to be disciplined to your trading plan. Stick to what you know that works and be happy with the results.
Each day showing up and hopping onto the charts is putting in work, you know?
100%. So let's upgrade this. And we'll take a look at GJ here in a second. Trying to upgrade this. I'm gonna upgrade this later. Who trades news? Anybody in the chat trade news? You guys gonna have buy stops, sell stops? What are you guys doing today? Because this is just what I'm doing, right? So what are y'all doing? You guys got buy stops, sell stops, trading news, not trading news. What are your thoughts?
I'm about to flip a coin.
Flip a coin.
Nah, I'm waiting. Me and Jay are waiting today.
Yes,
Nice.
sir. Leading by example. Wait.
There you go.
Yeah, we're waiting.
Actually, I'm gonna gamble it. I'm just kidding.
I was waiting for this live for months. Oh wow! Now I found my fourth fund for sure will help me. Oh, awesome, cool. Well, I'm glad you found MFF. They're a great company, and yeah, glad you found our live streams. Glad you found them. I am free. I'm on a demo until Monday, so may sample size some buy stops. And yeah, go ahead, man. Hey, it's better try it on a demo than it is on a live account. See, me, I always did live accounts, and man, sometimes I won big, sometimes I lost big, and it's unpredictable, right? So I mean, like I said before, if you got it, and you could do it like that, like, you know, some guys can, and they have $1 million accounts, that's cool. I mean, but if you really want to stick to like professionalism in your trading and really treat this thing as a long-term business, it's just best to get a strategy down pat, get a system that you can really have sample size data off of, and just stick with it, and you know, keep it professional. Right, John?
Yes, sir. And you want the long-term success. You know, you don't want short-term success. You want to be doing what's going to have you have the long-term success. It's going to make you be consistent with your winners and everything. You want to do that.
Exactly. What are your thoughts on that, John? What do you think about having a system, or I should say, what do you think about the people? What would you say to them who are still kind of jumping in and jumping out, and really not basing their trading off of a system where they have 2, 3, 4 setups and they only take those setups? What would you say to someone who's still struggling in that area, trying to, you know, figure this thing out? They keep losing because they keep jumping. Let's say they're strategy jumping or whatever the case is.
Yeah, I would say, you know, stick to your plan. You know, if you have a plan, you have to stick to it, and you have to be disciplined and consistent with that plan. You can't break it, you know? How do you expect to have success if you're breaking your plan and breaking what the system is telling you to do and saying, you know?
Yep.
So I say everyone should find a plan, find a system that works with their personality, and make it simple for them, and follow it. Don't break it, and show up every day and prove to yourself that you can do it and become a professional trader by following your plan system, and you'll get those results.
Yep.
The professional trader, he worries about the result. He worries about his process. And the failure trader, he worries about the outcome and the results, you know? You want to worry about your process and trading. You don't want to be focused on the money. You want to worry about the trading. The money will come as you worry about your trading.
Bingo.
Preach, bro.
Bingo. Preach. Someone once told me the way to build self-confidence is to keep self-discipline. 100%, man. 100%. Because if you go against your rule, number one, you know what you're doing, right? You know it's going against your plan, so you're already nervous as hell already. And why put that on yourself, right? Like, why even be nervous, right? So when you break your plan, you know you're doing it. And here's the biggest issue, is that when you win, so when you break your plan and win, that's one of the biggest things that can harm you in trading, because then you got lucky on that one, so now you attempt it again, right? And of course, the one that you win, you only risk very minimal and get lucky, and you get this sense of these endorphins going off, like, oh my, look at that, I could do this, man, I'm a trader, you know, 2 weeks in, and then all of a sudden you go and do it again, but this time you risk like triple the amount of, you know, of course the market always knows how to get you. And that's when you just get chopped up. And, you know, I've been there. I mean, I think every long-term trader has been there at some part in the beginning of their process. I don't want to say that you have to go through that, but, you know, a lot of traders do. There are ways to avoid it, though, like jumping on a stream like this and really hearing what we're trying to say and jotting that down. I think there's maybe two people that, you know, I've worked with over the course of the last year or two that have really stuck to the plan and really stayed disciplined and kind of cut the learning curve in half for themselves, and that's what a mentor or mentorship is going to do for you. So yeah, so just stick to your plan. If you don't have any sample size data, like everything I trade is well over a 1.5 to 2 years of sample size data in live markets, testing these concepts, you know. So That's why you see us sitting tight and being very patient, is because we know what works, we know what doesn't at this point, and we're gonna stick to the plan. We're not gonna budge. We're not gonna get shiny object syndrome and see a big candle and then all of a sudden just be like, all right, we're gonna blindly, impulsively enter on this. We have sample size data, and we're very serious about this, right? This is our business. This is how we make money. So it's not really something to play with. If you're getting in this to just gamble and try and make a quick buck, I promise you that ain't gonna go down. You may make a quick buck once or twice, but it just ain't gonna work in the long haul, man. So stick to a plan, stick to a system, and that is what's gonna bring that professionalism into your trading. And from there, it's just a matter of time. Until you either build more capital, use bigger lot sizes. But once you have the system down, man, it's just growth from there, because then you can start upping your risk, upping your lot size, upping your confidence in what you see, and that's how the process should go.
Yep, we're taking an edge / pattern that works majority of the times over a sample size of series of trades. We have backed up data on this, and they're high probability trades, and that's why we have to be patient and wait for them to come, and they don't come all the time. That's why they're high probabilities.
Yep. Like yesterday, man, oh my god, like this play right here, this what they call what we call it, thanks to Don Vo, is the celery play, right? This is my number one, by far, favorite setup that could ever come in the market. When you see this pattern right here, and so yesterday's trade, let me show you guys what we did yesterday, right? So the idea here yesterday, let's get rid of all this. And the idea here yesterday was that we were gonna wait for sells. We weren't gonna take sells below here, right? We weren't gonna take sells below that area. We were gonna wait for sells to close below these areas right here. Why? Because every time price did that, we tend to push down, right? So we were patient enough. We were waiting for the sells. We weren't budging on these ones. We waited for that closure, and then we got that closure here with this candle, right? So let me erase this and go zoom in a little bit better, right? So now you can see what we were looking at, this area right here, and we were just consolidating, from this area to this area. And most people are like, man, why not have it here? Why not have it here? Man, you gotta look left a little bit. You gotta use the data that's available to you, right? So we had our sells below there, waited for that closure. Once we got that closure, price left a small bottom wick, and then what happened is this wick came down right away. Remember what I said on the breakdown about candles that open up right away in the first minute or two and start breaking the lows? Be very wary of those candles. A lot of times traders are going to jump in right there because they're like, oh man, look at this clean traffic to the left. Oh my God, we're breaking the low, but until price really comes up to make a top wick, which was what this candle did, there's nothing there, right? So you enter on the break of these lows, all of a sudden price pulls back, and now you're sitting in drawdown, which is fine because you still did close below. But the idea here was, let's wait for this setup, right? Like the 1 hour time frame looked clean. It was a clean breakout. But then we went down, and I remember saying, I was like, man, I would love for a candle to close bullish here, and then the next candle respect the high and break the lows. And then that's because we have this sample size data, and because we have time in the markets sitting at these sessions every single day, we know what can come, right? We know what to expect. So we're looking for this, and man, we got it. And once that low broke, price was gone. Price was absolutely gone, and that thing just kept running all day long. So that's what we've seen, and that's just one of our setups, right? That's a setup that we know works. That's a setup that we have watched over and over and over again, you know, hundreds of times play out. And that's why we can confidently execute on those setups. And we kept stops right above these highs, because if this candle failed to break the high, that was your new high. And once that low broke, you know you had that clean traffic to the left. And we literally mirrored that whole thing. Literally, you have boom, all this, boom, all this. So looking left is very important here in the markets. Hopefully that makes sense. Oh, look at that. So we closed a no bottom wick on this previous candle, and we're back in the range.
Finally got coffee. I'm ready for the day.
Let's go. Did you make your own coffee?
Yes, sir.
Nice.
I got this new creamer, butter pecan or pecan.
Oh yeah. How is it?
It's not pecan. It's pecan. Fire.
It's good.
So good. Oh man, Delight or whatever makes the craziest coffee creamers.
Nice. See, I'm not a coffee guy.
Yeah, you're excess.
I'm an excess guy.
Energy
But
excess.
right now, I'm just a water guy.
Nice. Water boy.
I'm the water boy.
Water boy.
I literally have been just drinking water for like the past 2 years. I think, honestly.
Like, yeah, I need to get to that point because now I'm getting dependent on coffee again.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't. I wouldn't drink coffee. I don't like coffee.
Oh man. When I was doing security for the Tampa Bay Rays, dude, I was drinking like a whole protein shaker full of espresso every day.
Oh man.
That was rough. Getting off, stopping doing that was one of the hardest things.
Shit.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah. Just like any habit.
Yeah.
Hey, YouTube, can y'all still hear the music? Chat, chat, chat. Can chat still hear the music? We got this chill lo-fi.
Yeah, it's still going.
Alright, sweet.
Perfect volume for it too.
Perfect volume thanks to... I know someone told me to lower... Oh, Tassie. Perfect volume thanks to Tassie. We lowered the music and now it's perfect. So we have the news coming up here in 20 minutes. 20 more minutes. As you can see, gold is ranging. I like to say this is gold stopping at the gas station. Fueling up. She's fueling up.
You think we're gonna keep on dropping more?
So I would say so, unless unless we want to create support here. It depends on really how these numbers are going to come out, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, my reasoning for the early trade earlier was we were breaking the lows, and we also, closed below that area. But now we're coming back up to create a steeper top wick. So the funny part is as long as gold respects this daily top wick, we can still at any moment come back down, flip bearish, and break the lows. So it's as I was saying yesterday, it's just kind of like one of those weeks in the markets where like all the news is coming out, and you know everything's happening, and things are a little bit abnormal, but FOMC, NFP, all happening in the same week, first week of the month. It's like one of those like perfect storms almost come together. Oh, what's the plan for this weekend, Tandy? Anything good?
What is the plan for this weekend? Oh yeah. We're renovating our room right now, so that's the plan.
Oh, nice. What, your guys' bedroom?
Yeah.
Oh,
we
cool.
kind of neglected it because we thought we'd move out sooner than we are right now.
Mhm.
But we're like, you know what? Put some effort into this. So all I'm doing is adding plants to it. That's all I'm doing.
Nice. You've planted. Yeah, I have a few projects on my hand this weekend.
What's your plans?
I have to build, so I got some take advantage, so. And we're moving in the daily direction here, which is nice. Very nice. And if this daily candle closes below this range here later on today, man. So Tandy, what was it? It came out.
So NFB, they showed a massive influx of people employed. The expectation was 193. We had 517. So that gives strength to the dollar, showing that we're like recovering. Businesses are willing to pay more people to work for them and stuff.
Yep.
So
Nice.
weekends gold and then pushes the dollar out.
It's all a prop game. Slides.
And massively too. The forecast was
Sheesh.
193.
Oh my God.
517.
Oh wow.
Then you go ahead and ask people, how many of you are working? Not me.
Insane.
I thought it looked like a bear flag going down. Well, a lower time frame bear flag.
The short did look good.
Yeah.
I just didn't want it to come up all the way to 1940 and then fucking drop down. Because it could have came up first and then drove down. But it drove down. I want to retest up like 1905, but it's sure get a push up there. But it doesn't seem like we're about to break daily support here.
Pushing.
Alright, boys, I gotta hop off.
Alright, broski.
See you, my man.
Yeah.
Love you, buddy.
Love
See
you,
you
bro.
later.
I'll be on Monday.
Sounds good. Yep, we'll be back at it.
Yes, sir. So I'll see you on Monday.
Have a great
Hey, brother.
Friday, man.
You
Have a
too.
good
Have
weekend.
Alright, brother. Peace.
Peace, fellas. Peace.
Space. No, there was no way of jumping in on this one, Nick, without
nothing.
huge ass stop. Yeah.
Nothing. Let's see if Raja is streaming.
He is.
Did he
got
take
some?
cells?
I think he did.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I'll
Yeah.
after the stream.
Yeah, when you
Yeah.
got it like Raja, I mean, you could do it. You just, if you use like 0.01 or something small so you don't blow your account, it's fine.
Own your own broker so you don't get slipped.
But
You decide how much you pay.
don't tell me Raja didn't get slipped.
Nah, dude. Perfect entry.
No slippage.
No slippage. Over at Dominion.
I still remember the day his whole thing crashed that one day.
He's the best. All right, so we have these ranges here. If we can get a pullback here, and then we get a potential wick fill coming down here at 9, that'll be the 4-hour candle too. Get the 4-hour to close below. Potential wick fill. Let's get rid of this. And then if we start pushing below here, you got more clean traffic to here. So we got plenty of room to trade in today. A lot of ranges here. Ugh. 15-minute candle will close in about 5 minutes. At this point, I'm gonna wait for the 1 hour and the 4-hour to close, because we are running into the last 15-minute candle here of this 1 hour. I mean the last 15 minutes of this 1 hour candle, so we could see a pullback, and that would be awesome in my opinion, because then now that we cleared out this range, we can possibly pull back, get a nice wick fill coming on down to continue on. So that's what I'll be looking for here. Where's Mr. Uncle Scalp today? I sent the Zoom. Yeah, should be good. All right, 1 minute for this hourly candle to close. And yeah, man, just no top wick is my only concern. Otherwise, we could have this seller here, but I'm gonna let this one go. 30-minute GJ, no lower wick, volume dying down. Better to leave it today. Yeah, I agree. I agree. This was your candle right here. This was your trade. The closure above, and then this was your trading candle. Right? Could have moved stops to BE. Could have entered right here. Move stops to BE at the wick fill, and then it just continued going. But you have this closure here, so you never know. Me personally, I think I'm gonna stay out. A lot of volume here. Lots of volume. A lot of clean candles to the left here too. Yeah, doesn't look bad. If it re-breaks the high, it should drive. Oh, there goes gold. 30-minute celery play. Should drive at this point. Should drive, but I'm gonna wrap it up here, guys. Appreciate you all for coming by, stopping in today. It was a good Friday. We'll be back Monday, 7 a.m. Eastern. Tune in. Should be a better week Monday, especially if we get this weekly candle here closing strong bearish. We should be good to start retracing some of this move. So appreciate all you guys for stopping by. Thanks for liking the stream, and hopefully you guys learned some stuff today, got some knowledge, got a little bit of value from the stream, and we'll see you guys back again on Monday. So thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate you all. Have a great weekend.
See ya, everyone.
Peace.
And then
Later.
Ours are off the stream sales right now. I'm just kidding.
Peace. W's. No off the stream. Oh, we're still on the stream, Jay. You sneaky man. Here we go, guys. Let's take these cells. Let's go. Just kidding.
At the break of the week. I'm just kidding.
WWW. Appreciate you guys.
Gotta head out of here too.
Dubs in the chat. Thanks, guys.
I'm not taking this.
It's a Friday. I wanted the retracement up. I'm not gonna lie, to retest the 13, but it never broke that top like that. No top break on the 15. I was like, it's not gonna want to do it today, bitch. Because usually gold will give us a nice